Hello, this is Manish Patel from Ichimoku Today is November 30th, 2014. This is our bi-weekly Ichimoku analysis for the futures market, where we cover everything from crude oil, natural gas, heating oil, commodity futures, cotton, sugar, bonds, and you name it out there. Okay, happy holidays for the people in the U.S. Anyways, this is our normal disclaimer to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts you're going to see today that we're going to look at future products with is going to be from TradeStation. Here are our contact details here. You could call us at any of our office locations here, or you could call us, email us at info@eiicapital.com, or you could access our website here, ichimokutrade.com. We have a lot of free videos on Ichimoku and other different products. You also have access to our multiple time frame email alerts, scanners, and various other trading tools out there. Okay, so let's begin and let's go straight to TradeStation. Remember, on the left hand side is basically the daily time frame. On the right hand side is basically the weekly time frame. Support resistance lines that you see are basically from the weekly. We're discussing the weekly because we're trying to get a long-term view of what's going on. Okay, so the first one is you see here, this right here. If you soybeans, if you look at soybeans, pretty much basically we held the resistance that we had outlined 2 weeks ago, which was right here at 1088 and 2/8. We held that resistance. Now we kind of came to our support. We're holding our support at 1011 2/8. This looks very high probability, believe it or not, to sit there and come down to the support 978 3/8 and continue going down to about 907. So as long as if we could break the support here, I'll definitely keep an eye on here for this to sit there. And actually, this is not even updating. Sorry, there's your daily time frame. So definitely keep an eye on soybeans here, breaking the support in the next this week or next week. If it breaks that support here, then we know we got a high probability of getting to 978 and eventually going down to 907. So definitely keep an eye on that, because this is basically the sentiment changed here. This is a pullback, and all it has to do is sit there and come down here. If it breaks this here, this is going to start a trend to the downside even more. So keep an eye on that one. Next one is soybean oil. We basically are trending on both the daily and weekly. We got into our major support 31.84. We're holding it right now. The minor resistance that it held was 33.45, and also the 35.02 were the two resistances it held. So this is still very, very strong to a point it has a high probability of still breaking this 31.84, considering that it made a low resistance here at 33.45. It does have a high probability of getting to that support here and possibly breaking that. So definitely keep an eye on that one for any day trading or swing trades to go lower. Soybean meal, a little opposite of soybeans and soybean oil. If you look at soybean oil meal, this basically a nice trend here. Had a pullback. It held the support level of the pullback at 275, and then slowly trying to get back up here to retest this high up here at 425. It broke for resistance, and basically now there's some major support it needs to hold. It's actually a little lower than that. It's about right here. Is at 355.20. If it could hold that, and then there's a minor support at 340. As long as it holds a minor support, let's just move this down to here. As long as it holds a support here at 340, this thing still has a high probability getting to 425.90, which is pretty much what we're looking for in soybean oil. If it holds here, then this is going to be extremely strong to a point it'll get there very fast. If it pulls back to 341, then it's probably going to get to 425 very slow. So we're just waiting to see exactly what happens. But we're on one major support right now. The second one's at 341, but this is still very bullish. Corn. If you look at corn here, nice bearish trend here. It held the counter trend level resistance for a while. It still has not sat there and come back and retest this support in the last 2 weeks, which is not good. Starting to show some signs of being bullishness here. So we're now saying the resistance is going to be 408. It's got a high probability getting to 408. Support, of course, is going to be 366 and 2/8, which is normal. But the longer this consolidates, the higher probability it gets to 408, and the higher probability, believe it or not, it could break it and to start doing this major pullback after the big nice trend. Wheat, if you look here on the weekly time frame, is basically bearish, and the daily looks bullish. And the reason why it's bullish is basically it's doing a pullback here on the weekly time frame here. Major resistance level we're getting to is 588 and 5.8. That's going to be a true test of exactly what's going to happen with this. If it breaks that resistance, then this is going to go a major pullback, where it possibly could kind of pull back all the way up into about 623, 640 area. Oats here, basically this is a nice bullish trend here. This is a major pullback. The 303 is basically the support level here. If this has got to hold here, if it doesn't hold here, this thing's going to reverse, and this bullish trend right here is completely going to be over. As long as it holds this 303 and 2.8, this is basically still a major pullback. But the key thing is it's got to sit there and start making a move to basically go and retest these resistances at 342. But we have to kind of wait and see exactly what happens here at the support level here. So we're waiting and see what happens at 303.28. It's not worth going short right now because it's at a major level. We want to kind of see a break below it and then maybe pull back to it to possibly pay any short trades. But right now we're still bullish as long as that support level holds. Next is basically going to be cocoa. Nice bullish trend here on the weekly time frame. It's going for a major pullback. Two pullback levels we kind of designated, depending on if it's strong or weak pullback. It's going to be 27.81 and 26.74 is going to be the two pullback levels. Resistance is going to be 30.12. We got into one major support level. Now we're going to kind of see exactly what's going to happen here. But this is kind of in no man's territory right now. And if you look at the daily time frame here, you got a minor support level, which is basically right at about 2820. If it holds that support level here, this is going to make a move here to come up to 2975. So this does show signs, basically based on the daily time frame, this support level here holding, where this will sit there and start pulling up to at least about 3012. So we are short-term bullish right now as long as the support on the daily time frame holds. Next is coffee. If you look at coffee, this is just big one ugly chart here on the weekly time frame. Nice bearish trend here, and this is basically the major pullback. The major pullback level is going to be 223, which basically held twice, which is not good. So this major pullback is basically consolidating, which is not good at all. So the consolidation is basically 223 and 174.81. We're waiting for this thing to come down to about 174, so we're bearish till it gets to that support level. And then we'll have to look at the Ichimoku charts on both the daily and weekly to determine exactly what's going to happen at that support level. But this does, believe it or not, long-term picture, maybe into 2015, does have a probability, believe it or not, coming to retest this low here, or even a little higher low here around 140. So we're still going to be long-term bearish on this instrument, which is basically, if you look at it, is coffee. OJ here is just one ugly chart here. It's consolidating between 126.73 and 157.32. It's at one resistance level now, which is at 149.97. But this is just consolidating. It's not even worth looking at all. Rough rice, this is one we've been bearish on both the daily and the weekly. You could see a little spike down here, got to our support, kind of held it here, went bleeped a little below it, but it held it roughly at 11.604, bounced off there. Now the major resistance it's got a hold for this long-term trend to continue to go downward. For rough rice, it's going to be 12.860. So we're bearish until as long as that basically that resistance holds. Next one's going to be sugar. Remember this one we've been bearish on for a while now. You could see here this is still slowly moving down. It held a counter trend, major resistance level, which is roughly around 17, and then held another minor resistance level at 1601. So the resistances are going down. So this still does have a high probability getting to 13.87, which is pretty much the target we're looking for, or the preserve mode we're looking for it to get to. And there's the two different supports here. But this is still very, very strong to keep on going down. So keep an eye on that one. Crude oil. We had outlined it getting to 70.94, actually blew past that last week, in fact last Friday. Got all the way to our next support level, which is 66.01, and the one below that is 63.75. Just depends on volatility, whether it's going to get to that 63.75 or not. You can't really tell with high probability due to volatility of that one big bar from Friday. But this is slowly trickling down, still very strong to a point. It still has a high probability in getting to 63.75, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens there. Natural gas here. You could see this is just consolidating right now between 3.941 and this upper range here, which is about 4.681. So really not doing anything right now. It is starting to, believe it or not, tilt more towards the bearish side. So we're at the support here. If it breaks the support here, believe it or not, it's going to come all the way down to 3.5000. So we are bearish on this one, but very cautious, looking for very high probability trades due to this nasty consolidation pattern that you see. Heating oil, you could see here it basically broke our support that we had outlined here at 2.3375, which is kind of, if you zoom out, the bottom of a consolidation pattern, one of them. Now it's gotten to the outside of a consolidation pattern, which is 2.1844. Basically got to that level, bounced off it, but this is, sorry, got to that level and closed below it, which is not good at all. So this does have probability of getting to the next level, which is 2.0412, and it may even bleep down to the nice even number of 2. So wouldn't be surprised basically if heating oil does continue to go down and get to that nice even number of 2. So we're definitely bearish in that one, but very cautious in taking that. Gasoline here, we thought it was going to hold here to 1.9431, but this is slowly trickling down to a point it didn't hold that support at all. Next support level now is basically 1.6934 is the next support level for gasoline. Cotton, this is one we've been bearish on. You could see it's still very strong bearish. It's slowly trickling down to our target level, which is 56.45. So wait to see that happen. Dollar, this is an interesting one. When we did our video 2 weeks, we're hoping it held at 88.006 and pulled back to about 86.786, and that could have been a great buying opportunity for a pullback. That didn't quite happen. This is still very strong to a point it looks like it's going to get to the next resistance level without even a major pullback, or even, sorry, without a minor pullback at all. So this does look like where the dollar is trying to get to 88.938 very fast, and it's still slowly trickling up to get to that level, and it doesn't seem like it wants to pull back at all. So definitely keep an eye on that one. Feeder cattle, now we're going for all the livestock. Feeder cattle here, you can see is basically bullish on the weekly time frame, starting to consolidate here, and that's kind of why you're seeing the daily starting to tear apart here. Resistance level so far it held is 235.698. Support level is going to be 223.288. Live cattle, if you look here, this is basically bullish here. This is continuing its journey upwards. Next resistance level, believe it or not, we've marked up is way up here, which is around 180 level up there. So this is still very strong to a point it's going up there. We're at a minor support level right now on the daily time frame, which is at 168.700. Lean hogs here, this is ironic. You could see feeder cattle and live cattle are basically bullish. Lean hogs are basically not bullish at all. This right here, as you can see, a nice little trend upwards here. Pulled back. This pullback level has got to sit there and hold, which is at 87.451. It's a very critical level. Don't like the idea how we bounced off there and then got to some minor resistances, bounced off them, and we're trying to retest this. The more we retest this, the higher probability we have breaking it. If we break it, then we do have a possibility coming down to 80. So this is a very critical level here to kind of see. Until that support basically gets broken, we are going to be bullish on lean hogs to get back to 95.285. Treasuries and bond futures, this is being the most interesting ones, and you're going to see this is the 2-year here. Treasury notes, it held a support level 109.10.2, broke a resistance level at 109.16.7, so it's now got a high probability of getting to this high of this spike of this bar right here, which is at 109.26. Next, you got your 5-year. 5-year here actually held a support at 118.10. It's right at a major resistance level of 119.16. If it breaks that, then it does have a high probability of getting to the 120.30. So you could see the 5-year is a little weaker compared to the 2-year, since the 2-year did break that minor resistance level, whereas the 5-year still has not done that. Let's see with the 10-year. The 10-year is just like the 5-year at a major resistance level right now, which is at 127.02. If it breaks that, then it's got a high probability of getting to the high of this bar right there. Support level is basically 125.06. And the 30-year is very similar to the 2-year. So if you look at it and you're doing any pairs trading, you basically could go bullish on the 2 and the 30, and you could kind of short the 5 and the 10, because the 30 is basically is broken the minor resistance level here, 141 and 1832s, and held the support at 139. So definitely this is one. And if you look at the 30-year and the 2-year, you could see that basically based on the 2, they're very, very similar. So the 2 and the 30-year is basically more bullish than the 2 and the 10. Okay, let's go over to the metals now. Platinum, you could see here, is basically bearish trending here on both the daily and weekly. On the daily, it's holding these minor resistance levels right now. If it could break the 1197, this is actually going to come down to the next level at 1100. So we're going to be basically bearish until the minor resistance level at 1227 is basically broken. So we're going to be basically bearish on that. Gold here, I don't know why people are thinking this is bullish now, because it bounced off the 1134 level, so everyone's thinking it's bullish. It's not bullish at all. It came back up to the 1188 level, held that level, bounced off there, and it's trying to sit there and come down back to the 1134 level. If it gets back to 1134 level, it's still going to be extremely strong to a point it could get down to 1100 very easy. So be very careful in trying to go bullish on gold. Silver, as you guys know, we've been bearish for a very long time, and you could see here this basically held some minor resistance levels, and then basically now back to the support level that we had outlined and broke it last week at 15.796. So this still does have a high probability of getting to 13.777, which we kind of was looking for that 13.77 to kind of be reached towards the middle of next year, but it looks like it's trying to get there before the end of this year, so it'll be interesting to see. Copper, this is the interesting one here. Support we had outlined is 2.8599. It got to that and closed below it, which is telling us it's extremely strong to a point. It still has a high probability now of getting to 2.7534. So definitely we're going to be bearish on copper to get to this level here, but we're going to be very cautious in trying to find some nice trades due to the volatility in this last bar here. So it may sit there and pull back some before it gets to that next level of support. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, here are our contact details here again. See you guys in 2 weeks. Make sure you check out our Twitter feeds and our blogs for our trades of the week and various different support resistance levels on various instruments worldwide. Thank you.